About 6 months ago, we cut down 2 pine trees about 55 feet tall. And I cut them in lengths of 8, 9, and 10 feet long for the purpose of one day being able to build some homemade benches for our kitchen table. We have a big family, and that's what I wanted to build so everybody can sit at the table at one time. With a big bench, we'll be able to put a bunch of those tiny heinies side by side. Well, after a long time of searching, we finally found a local sawmill. Thankfully, my dad found somebody. So now here we are at this local sawmill, and you can see here, this guy's got a lot of lumber to cut, and he's willing to help me out and cut the lumber I need so I can build what I want. So let's get over here and help this guy. Here we go. This is the lumber mill right here. It's basically a big bandsaw where they're able to lock the wood in place and then work the blade down the length of the wood. And so I'll take you and kind of show you the means and the methods of what they're doing here. But ironically, as we were shooting our introduction, I came over and found the sawmill had been down, and the reason why was because as they were cutting through the top board, there was a nail. So that stops the whole production of everything he's doing. It bent the blade, so now he's off looking for his other blade so that he can replace it, and we can continue to cut through the slab. Let's go look at this while he's away looking for his blade. Okay, so this is the Wood-Mizer LT15 sawmill. The gentleman said that this goes for about $11,000, and you basically put your wood up on the tabletop portion as it sits here, and then you lock it in with these bits, and then basically crank it up and run the length of the board. This is the bandsaw here. This is the one that's damaged because of the nail, but you can see the teeth on these things are pretty hefty, and it cuts through the boards like butter. one of the pieces of lumber that we just pulled out is rotten. I guess worms got to it or something. When we took the blade to it, it was soft, it was a little bit mushy. And then just with him trying to use his tool to roll it, we saw that it was just kind of like peeling the wood apart. So we're gonna go ahead and vacate that idea and move on to another piece that we know is good. This is one of our good pieces of wood, and you can see down here this slab. Look at the coloring on this. And this is being cut true to size, by the way. This is not like your Home Depot or the wood that you get at Lowe's. This is true to cut. So I've asked them to cut this a couple different sizes, 1 inch, 2 inch, and we're going to be able to have a lot of stability and sturdiness to this wood by being a true 2-inch piece of wood. But look how beautiful this is. I can't wait to really get the sander on this, get a nice coat of lacquer or something on it so that it really starts to pop. And man, it's really going to make our kitchen table look amazing. And most of all, we're going to have some great seating for the family. Let me show you something else that we found. I showed you the good wood, now I want to show you the bad wood. These trees were obviously cut down because they were dying or they already died. And in this piece of wood here, if you can see the slab, deep inside of the wood, and this is probably what helped it to die, is something was eating it, and I think we found the something. This was found in the wood, but we don't let anything go to waste. This is high protein. We're out here working. We want to make sure that we are strong and ready to work. Just kidding, I'm not eating it. So we made it home, and of course I had some other things I had to take care of. I've got to get my hay, get that ready for the winter, and so that's just how it is on the farm sometimes. You are always on the move. So I have my trailer with all the wood that we got cut. I've found a location in here where I typically store straw and hay, and I've kind of pushed things out of the way. And now what I need to do is get some little chunks of wood so that I can have air movement between each of the slabs of wood. So in order for me to maximize my time, I came up with an idea. What I'm going to do is take my saw, because I have a lot of pallets that I get every single year, and I don't always know what to do with them, although I do use a lot of it for starting fires through the winter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take my saw and I'm going to cut in between each of the slats, and I'm going to take that wood and I'm going to split it. And by splitting it, then I'll have little sections of wood that I can use to keep the slabs apart, let the air flow through it. But most of all, I'll be able to use all that wood that I've cut and split for starter wood, and I will be one step ahead for winter. So I need to get in here, get this finished, get the project finished for at least what we got going on today, and then be done. I'm tired, I'm hot, I just need to get inside. It's getting late, I got other things I've got to do. So this is one of the last steps. I'm going to show you how I separate the wood, and then I'll be back for closing remarks. Well, it's been a long day. It's been hot. Just trying to get through all this stuff. I don't even know if I want to get all this wood set up for the night or not, but I want to give it everything I got. You know, growing up, I watched my dad watch TV shows like Yankee Workshop, I think is what it was called, and This Old House. You know, there's a lot of memories that goes into being part of something like this. This is like true homesteading, and a lot of times when you think that you're homesteading, there's always more that you can do. And for me on this project, to be able to cut down my own tree, to be able to have it milled, to be responsible for drying it out, and then using that wood to build the things I need to build, just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And I guess I would say there's probably a little bit of emotion that's tied to that, thinking about the good times of sitting there watching those woodworking shows with my dad as I grew up. And now this is the time not just to watch it on TV, but to be able to live it, to be able to let my kids be part of it. And maybe that's good enough reason to wait until tomorrow to get this wood put up so that they can be part of that too. But those are memories that we'll get to build together, and I'm just so excited. And man, to think of everything that I can build. This is some really, really beautiful wood, as I said earlier, and I can't wait to build with it. That'll probably be a good winter project when things are cooler outside. But while it's 100,000 degrees, now's the time to let it dry out. So we're going to let this process continue through the summertime and into the fall, and hopefully it'll be ready by then. And the way that I want to check it is probably with a moisture meter. That's how the gentleman told me that he checks his to make sure that it's good to go. So I don't want to guess. I don't want to wait for the wood to kind of shrink, and then after I already build it, it shrink down on me and then cause other problems. So I want to make sure I do it right, and sometimes patience is a virtue. Well, all the time it is. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this episode with me as I'm living my dream and hopefully inspiring somebody out there that's watching this to live their dream. So until next time, who likes building things with homemade and homegrown wood? Farmers do.